Brace yourself for this. Imagine being mocked, laughed at, doubted and written off just because of your height and how skinny you look. I can't imagine how he was looking at and what was running through his mind. But then my joy is that he never gave up, rather shot their mouth up. It was so hard that people told him that he will never make it. They laughed at every step of the way. But what if you proved them all wrong? That's exactly what happened. At 6 feet 7 inches, Peter Crouch was never meant to be a footballer. At least that's what the world believed. Too tall, too awkward, too different. From the moment he stepped onto the pitch, he was met with laughter instead of admiration, doubt instead of belief. He wasn't the fastest, the strongest, or the most naturally gifted. But what he lacked in conventional footballing traits, he made up for with something far greater, an unbreakable spirit. Mocked, underestimated and ridiculed, Crouch turned every jeer into motivation, every rejection into resilience. He was the man football tried to write off, yet he became one of the most beloved figures the sport has ever seen. This is the story of how a boy who was laughed at for his height defied the odds, rose above the criticism, both literally and figuratively, and earned the respect of the footballing world. Peter Crouch was never meant to be a footballer. At least that's what the world believed. Born on January 30th, 1981, in Macclesfield, England, he was never the typical footballing prodigy. His lanky frame made him stand out in the worst way possible. As a child, he was ridiculed for his height, constantly being called names that had nothing to do with his talent. But Crouch didn't let the taunts define him. Instead, he let football be his voice. It wasn't easy though. He wasn't the most naturally gifted or the fastest on the pitch, and his unusual frame made coaches skeptical. But he had something more important than talent. He had resilience. Growing up, Crouch fell in love with football while watching some of England's greatest players. He was passionate, determined, and ready to prove that he belonged in the game. His journey began at Northolt Hotspurs, a small local club where he started to develop his skills. His height made him an easy target for defenders, but it also gave him an advantage. His aerial ability was unmatched. Despite his efforts, many clubs overlooked him, unable to see past his awkward gait and thin frame. He was rejected multiple times, but every rejection only fueled his determination to prove the doubters wrong. He was capped 42 times by the England national team between 2005 and 2010, scoring 22 goals for his country during that time, appearing at 2 FIFA World Cups. It wasn't until he joined Queen's Park Rangers' youth setup that people started to take notice. Even then, he was never the first choice player. He worked tirelessly, spending extra hours training, refining his touch, and learning to use his height to his advantage. Eventually, he earned a move to Tottenham Hotspur's academy. But instead of getting his big break, he was sent on loan multiple times, struggling to establish himself as a first-team player. At times, it felt like his career was slipping away before it had even begun. Crouch's breakthrough came in an unexpected way. After moving to Portsmouth in 2001, he started making waves with his goal-scoring ability. His performances earned him a move to Aston Villa, where the Premier League stage awaited him. But it wasn't a fairy tale. The critics were relentless. He was mocked for his playing style, labelled clumsy and awkward. Fans and pundits laughed at him rather than cheered. But Crouch, ever resilient, kept going. He refused to let the negativity dictate his career. His real redemption arc began at Southampton in 2004. It was here that he truly showed his class, scoring crucial goals and proving that he was more than just a novelty act. His impressive performances caught the attention of Liverpool, one of England's biggest clubs. When he arrived at Anfield in 2005, expectations were low. Fans doubted him. He was seen as a panic buy rather than a genuine asset. And then the unimaginable happened. He went 19 games without scoring a single goal. The ridicule reached new heights. He became a punchline in English football. Newspapers ran jokes about his drought. Opposition fans chanted mockingly, and even Liverpool supporters lost patience. Any other player might have crumbled under the weight of pressure, but not Crouch. When the goal finally came, a scrappy, deflected shot, it was as if a dam had burst. The celebration was euphoric. His teammates embraced him, and the Kop roared in support. He had overcome yet another battle. From that moment, everything changed. Crouch found his rhythm, scoring vital goals for Liverpool, including stunning bicycle kicks and crucial Champions League strikes. He became a fan favourite, not just for his goals, but for his humility and work ethic. He played with a smile, even when the world had laughed at him. He wasn't just surviving in football, he was thriving. His career took him across various clubs, from Portsmouth to Stoke City, each move adding another chapter to his remarkable story. He became known for his towering headers, his surprisingly deft touch, and his ability to rise above adversity, both literally and figuratively. He played for England in major tournaments, scoring some of the most memorable goals for his country. His famous robot dance celebration became an iconic moment, symbolising his ability to enjoy the game despite all the criticism he had faced. Even when he wasn't starting games, Crouch never complained. He always put the team first. Managers admired him, teammates respected him, and even rival fans came to appreciate his uniqueness. He turned what was once his biggest weakness, his height, into his greatest strength, and he did it with class, humility, and a sense of humour that made him one of football's most beloved figures. It seems as if no one heard me speak. Let me say again. Peter Crouch's football journey began in the shadows of Tottenham Hotspur, where he trained tirelessly but never got the chance to shine on the pitch. Undeterred, he took his talents to the unlikeliest of places, non-league Dulwich Hamlet and Swedish club IFK Hässleholm, before finding a home at Queen's Park Rangers. Just as he was finding his feet, QPR suffered relegation in 2001, a crushing blow that could have derailed his dreams, but Crouch refused to fade. Portsmouth saw his potential and secured his signature for £1.5 million, a gamble that paid off as he netted 19 goals in his first season. His prolific form caught the eye of Aston Villa, who swooped in with a £5 million bid. However, instead of a fairy tale rise, Crouch faced one of the toughest spells of his career, struggling to make an impact and eventually being loaned out to Norwich City. It was only at Southampton that he rediscovered his magic, earning a move to Liverpool in 2005, where his story would take a dramatic turn. At Liverpool, Crouch silenced the doubters and became a crucial piece of Rafa Benitez's squad. He lifted the FA Cup and the FA Community Shield in 2006, and though his unorthodox playing style was often scrutinised, he won over fans with his skill, work ethic, and knack for scoring in big moments. His 42 goals over 3 seasons cemented his place in Anfield's history, but football is never a predictable script. In 2008, he made an emotional return to Portsmouth for £11 million, reuniting with strike partner Jermaine Defoe. The pair formed a lethal duo, but after just 1 season, Crouch was on the move again, this time returning to where it all started, Tottenham Hotspur. Under Harry Redknapp, he had his defining moment in 2010, scoring the goal that secured Spurs' long-awaited return to the UEFA Champions League. His European form was electric, netting 7 times in 10 games, but domestically, he struggled to maintain consistency. As one door closed at Spurs, another opened at Stoke City, who broke their transfer record to bring him in for £10 million in 2011. Many believed his best years were behind him, but Crouch thrived under the pressure, scoring 14 goals in his debut season and earning Stoke's Player of the Year award. Even as time wore on, he remained a reliable goalscorer, hitting double figures in multiple campaigns. His trademark robot celebration became iconic, a symbol of his joy and resilience in a game that had never made things easy for him. He spent 7.5 years at Stoke, giving everything to the club before a final chapter beckoned: Burnley. Though his time there was brief, it marked the closing of an incredible career. In July 2019, after years of defying expectations, Peter Crouch hung up his boots. From an overlooked trainee to a Champions League finalist, from rejection to redemption, his story wasn't just about goals, it was about perseverance, character, and proving that football belongs to those who refuse to give up. By the time he retired in 2019, Crouch had scored over 100 Premier League goals, a feat that only a select few had achieved. He holds the record for the most headed goals in Premier League history, a testament to his aerial dominance. But his legacy isn't just about the numbers. It's about perseverance, about proving that there's no single mould for success in football. Off the pitch, Crouch continued to defy expectations. He became a media personality, hosting one of the most popular football podcasts. His charisma and self-deprecating humour made him even more adored. The same man who was once ridiculed had become one of football's most respected voices. He had won, not just as a footballer, but as a person. Peter Crouch's story is one of resilience, of defying the odds, of turning weaknesses into strengths. It's a reminder that success isn't always about being the most talented. It's about believing in yourself when no one else does. He may not have been the most conventional footballer, but he was one of the most inspiring. From being the butt of jokes to becoming a cult hero, Crouch's journey is a testament to perseverance. He proved that football isn't just about physical attributes. It's about heart, about passion, about never giving up. And in doing so, he earned something far more valuable than trophies: the love and respect of the football world. Peter Crouch's journey wasn't just about football, it was about resilience, defying expectations, and proving that heart matters just as much as talent. From struggling to break through at Tottenham, to becoming a cult hero at Liverpool, from setbacks at Aston Villa to unforgettable Champions League nights with Spurs, his career was a testament to perseverance. He wasn't the fastest, the flashiest, or the most conventional striker, but he was unforgettable. His goals, his humour, his iconic robot dance. Crouch gave football more than just numbers. He gave it personality, passion, and joy. His story reminds us that success isn't always a straight path, but those who keep going, no matter the obstacles, can leave a legacy that lasts forever. You know one thing I learnt from this? Never give up Peter Crouch work till date. Just check out his YouTube channel, That Peter Crouch Podcast. Just check him out. What do you think about Peter Crouch's incredible journey? What was your favourite moment of his career? Let's celebrate this unique footballing legend together. Drop your thoughts in the comments, share this video with fellow football fans, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more inspiring football stories. The game is filled with unsung heroes, and together we'll keep their stories alive.